World Warrior.
Yo,
Yo,
Let's get it started. What's up, Road Warrior? I hear myself. Let me mute y'all. Let me mute. Let me mute. Mute. Let me mute that boy Collins. Yes, I felt so good. Who's that? Let me mute that. All right. Can y'all hear me? Give me a nod if y'all can hear me. We good? Okay. No technical difficulties today, buddy. So we're gonna watch. I don't know how much we're gonna watch of this congressional hearing about the UAPs, the UFOs disclosure. Did y'all were y'all able to watch the whole thing, Jalen? You watch it yet?
no, I didn't watch
All
it
right,
yet.
Ham, you watched it?
I watched the whole thing.
All right, so I'm gonna play a little bit of it and then I'll fast forward some of it, but I'm gonna play it from somewhat the beginning. Because I was actually looking for this part today, but it's actually early on where they talk about some alien bodies. Some alien bodies. First of all, I'm glad that we came to this moment. I'm glad that we finally got to this moment where all y'all about to, everything that you believed is over. It's over. Aliens are here. Okay, they're here. So before we start, just give me your take on what you guys believe about UFOs and for the last 20, 30 some odd years. Um, what do you guys believe? Go ahead.
I want me to go first.
Yeah, do you think?
All right. I mean, so like I used to watch documentaries on it all the time back when I was a kid, and I always believed like it could be real. And I know people that actually said they seen some things. But I actually read. I don't know if y'all heard of this book. If y'all haven't read this book, you should check it out. It's called "Behold a Pale Horse." Y'all heard of that
Mm.
book?
Yeah, I've heard of it. Heard of it, definitely.
I heard about it.
So y'all should if y'all believe in aliens and stuff, y'all should read the book because the guy that wrote it, he was like ex CIA or whatever. He was like highest clearance in Navy and stuff, and he was working with like CIA, and so he was like leaking actual information from the meetings that he was having with some of these higher up people in the government. And in the paperwork and stuff, it was like talking about treaties between aliens, like how the aliens wanted to show us um, like their advanced ways and stuff like that. But the thing was, if we were going to do that, then they wanted us to like take off of our weapons of mass destruction. And
Say
so I
that.
guess, oh,
Say
what's
that
that?
book again. Pale Blue Horse. I mean, Beyond the
Yeah, behold a pale horse. You can actually get it. You can just listen to it for free on YouTube. They got the whole audiobook.
Did, didn't Buddy die?
He got killed.
Like
He got
he got
killed in
killed?
outside of New Mexico for sharing
Yeah.
the all this information. And so like like not only do they expose what's going on with aliens, they expose what's going on with like all kinds of stuff. The elites, all this stuff. He talks about all of that. And but the aliens part is super crazy. He's like, people were like they agreed with the aliens that they could abduct humans just so that they could um learn more about us. But the trick is they can't remember anything. So when humans are taken or whatever, they're not allowed to remember what happens when they come back, when they're put back here.
Hmm.
And I just thought it was really cool. The book was just like you can listen to the whole thing, and it's like he just gives that the whole lowdown. But I thought that was crazy. He actually got killed because of he was sharing all this stuff.
And so, in this video, I don't like I said, I don't know how much of this video we're going to watch, because it's long. But the guy talks about like how some of his friends were killed and how he actually
Dang.
feared for his life. There's another guy, and I've seen him for years, and I can't remember his name. It's Doctor something. He was actually you'll know when you see his face because he's one of the people that actually brought all this stuff to the forefront, and he's been doing this for the last 30 some odd years. Like if I showed you his face, I'll probably pull it up once we get to the video. Um, but he's talked about it, and the crazy thing is, throughout our lifetime, we have seen people talk about these things, and they get so deep into it. Like when they talk about the Alien Federation, you be like, y'all crazy, y'all crazy. But in the video, they talk about some of the campaigns that the CIA and them did to make us believe and go on a campaign like ufology and all that stuff was, pseudoscience and everything. And now they're coming back around to it. Hamilton, what do you think?
I think, of course they're real. Of course they're real. This universe is too vast for it to be only us.
That's all you got?
That's all I got.
Hey, Jalen, I want you to know this is Hamilton, right? Hey, when we were talking crypto, you couldn't shut this boy up. You couldn't shut him up. This man was, and Eckhart and
he had information for days.
This man was just talking. This is like breaking it down. We were confused. We're like, bro, you go a little too deep. And he said, aliens, yes, aliens exist. Yeah, of course. That's all I got to say about that. Back to the crypto.
Okay, let's go a little deeper then. Let's think about it. Let's break it down by religions and cultures then. So, yeah, I don't know if y'all heard about it. I know it comes by her. Anunnaki and Jamar, of course. Anunnakis, right? They call them the sky people back in the day. Sumerians. That were their belief, their gods. So they talking about aliens. The Bible is talking about aliens 24/7. Angels are aliens. Shoot.
Look, Colin's itching down there. He itching. Colin's itching.
They're not of this world. So they are extraterrestrial beings, other beings, you know what I'm saying? What aliens, bro? What aliens?
What you eating? What you eating on?
Popcorn, man. Popcorn. Just love popcorn.
Okay. Online cookout popcorn. Okay, cool. Jalen, what you got? Jalen ain't got no
I ain't
snacks.
got nothing. I just had some Chipotle.
No snacks.
Chipotle, man.
Go ahead, Collins.
I just ate my lentils, man. Yeah, so for me, you already know, Jamar, but I'm gonna let the rest of y'all. Know what I'm saying? These things are not from other worlds, man. As we know it, as like a planet out there somewhere, blah 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 blah. My understanding and my knowledge is that it is the aliens are actually angels, like you said, but the ones that we see that be looking all weird and stuff like that, or the the Anunnakis and all of those things, those are all real as well, but they're demons. They're the fallen angels. Now, fallen angels can take many forms. They have the abilities to shape shift. They have abilities to be right in your face, and you can't see them. They have the abilities to be morphing in different spectrums of light, dimensional travel. There's actually a verse in the Bible that talks about how they could be all around us and you not see them. You know what I'm saying? Like in 2 Kings 6, it talks about this king of Syria that went to go get Elisha. And when he went, and Elisha's underling, he had an apprentice or whatever, and he was scared because he's like, all of these people, are coming, and they the only ones there. And when he woke up Elisha, he's like, hey, bro. Elisha's like, hey, man, don't be afraid. Don't be worried, because those that are with us are more than those that are with them. And he's like, what you talk about? And he prays that, hey, Most High, will you let him open up his eyes so he can see? And then so he opened up, the Most High opened up his eyes, and he was able to look around, and it was a whole squad of chariots, which would be like UFOs, right? It was a whole squad of warriors and chariots on horses, on the mountains, in the air, like they was all around them. So really and truly, they always hear they're different species, quote unquote, the other
Where
than
is
us.
that? Tell me, bad. Where is that? What book is this?
2 Kings chapter 6.
All right.
Yeah. I think it's verse. I can't remember exactly what verse, but 2 Kings chapter 6, like 1 through like 20 or something like that. And it goes into detail, like about how they're always there, basically. You know what I'm saying? Like your enemies, when you feel that little cold bumps in the back of your neck, that's a spirit that you feel. You know what I'm saying? That's a spirit. Whether it's one on the positive side or the negative side, it's the same species. And these things can change form. If they can change the spectrum of light, like be in front of you and you don't see it, like in the story of Balaam and the donkey, right? Like, and that's the second one. You have for them to be able to be invisible, and how can they change spectrum and light and things like that? The donkey was able to see the alien in the road, but the dude could not see the alien. As a matter of fact, the donkey was able to speak. Now, a lot of people don't believe, you know. Now,
I didn't cut him out. I'm letting y'all know I didn't do nothing. Don't think I
it's
booted
my thing's gonna keep on doing that. I don't know what it is. It's the app. But if y'all, if a lot of people, this could be a good and a bad thing, right? For people who are on the cusp of like not believing fantastical things, that's why they don't believe in the Bible, because it says all these weird, crazy things. And and we got stuff like this, you know what I'm saying, coming out. It's like, oh snap, there is other things. There's something other than human beings that maybe they can start to believe and realize, okay, maybe the word is real, is true, maybe it's real, maybe this ain't just stories and allegory, fantasy.
All right.
And giants and stuff like that. So I think it's kind of good and bad, because they lying. They doing what demons do, to tell two truths and a lie. They gonna tell you that it exists, but they're not gonna tell you where it really comes from, because these things are whole demons. And people have been having ruling powers have been having deals with demons all the way going back to the Egyptians, to the Sumerians, to the
all right, Colin, give me let me get Tim in here. Let me get Tim in. Yeah. I knew he was gonna go on your biblical escapade.
Hey,
all right, it's time for you to get muted. Bam, mute that fool. Go ahead, Tim. Let's talk. Talk to me, baby.
Yo, what's up, man? Sir. What's up, everybody? How everybody doing, man?
What's up, Tim?
Oh, guys, man, I'm doing pretty good. I'm on the road again. But nah, man, y'all, if most of y'all know me, man, so I figure like, yeah, I'm in agreement with that. Yo, this universe is too big. It's too many planets, too many solar systems, too many stars for it not to be something else somewhere. Now, whether that entity has put itself on Earth for whatever reason, got off of Earth and came back to it for whatever reason, I don't know. I don't know. Them jokers are here. For my driving experiences, I would not. I can tell you that I've seen some stuff move across the sky that's not a plane, drone, or a comet. I can tell you that. I can 100% tell you that, especially when you go out west, man.
West. Well, I need you to say out west. Yep, definitely.
Bro, when you go out west, man, it's nothing but openness, bro. There ain't nothing out there, especially like you start going through like Arizona and stuff like that, man.
Yep.
Yeah, just look up, man. Those lights don't move like that.
Yeah. You don't have any light pollution out there to destroy.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's there. It is there, and you can just see it. I mean, you can like, okay, that's a plane. The green light right there. Okay, that's a drone. Okay, that's a helicopter. I mean, you can see it, and you're like, okay, oh, I saw a shooting star. That don't move like nothing else out there.
Yeah.
Definitely. And so just based off of that, you know, just little stuff that I seen, I'm like, yeah, they out there, man.
So were you able to did you get the chance to watch the congressional hearing they had? I think it was yesterday.
Yeah, I caught bits and pieces of it. Probably overall maybe 30 minutes of watching, just like maybe 5 minutes here, 10 minutes here. Overall though, man, it's nothing really new.
Yeah.
Outside of what they was talking about, this is all things that we heard before. I'm just, you know, I guess you could be like, okay, they actually admitted to the being dead bodies from the 1947 crash in Roswell. Yeah, we all knew it. I mean, like, hey, it's been too many people that came out and said, but I guess the thing is they actually put it in a congressional hearing. Like, yeah, it's fact. There's some what the man. What he called it, non-human biologies or something like that.
Yeah. I was actually looking for that exact time frame in here, but I don't know if I can find it. I'm gonna play the first couple minutes of it, and then we'll talk about it, and then I'll skip forward where you guys are talking and see what we can get out of it. But like you're right, They didn't name a lot of, the guy said he couldn't say a lot of things publicly, which is, you know, Congress is like, yo, this is crazy. Now we're really starting to understand there is a shadow government, because how can you be in the top areas in Congress and you don't have clearance to see things that you should have clearance to? But anyway, let's get to it. That's what they're saying over here in the comments. Demons taught man how to make those things. That's Collins. Don't be trying to pose Collins as somebody else. I see you trying to pose. He trying to.
I literally can't. I can't type while I'm on the phone. So I got to go on my
I got you. I'm messing with you. All right, let's play.
Firsthand and not in this environment, but I could answer that question behind closed doors. Yeah.
And have you seen any of the bodies?
That's something I've not witnessed myself.
Okay. And so with that being said, you know, the other statement that has been made that was intriguing to me, because it's intriguing because my view has been that we are billions of light years away from any other system. And the concept that an alien species that's technologically advanced enough to travel billions of light years gets here and somehow is incompetent enough to not survive Earth or crashes is something that I find a little bit far-fetched.
That's the part I want you. That's one of the dumbest things I've ever heard in my life. One of the dumbest things I've ever heard in my life. And he looks like a dumbass saying it. He just looks stupid.
Hey.
The minute he said it, I was like, bro, what are you talking about? Like,
bro, that's controlled opposition, bro. That's all it is, homie. That's just controlled opposition. They got that one dude in there as a naysayer for everybody to be like, they all in on it. Come on, bro.
He's like, well, how? What? You know, it's incompetent. They crash. It's incompetence. Okay. Dude's an idiot.
And with that being said, you have mentioned that there's interdimensional potential. Could you expound on that?
Yeah, to answer your first question, and I'm here as a fact witness and expert, but I will give you a theoretical framework, at least to work off, to kind of espouse crashes, regardless of your level of sentience, right? Planes crash, cars crash, n number of sorties, however high, a small percentage are going to end in mission failure, if you will, as we say in the Air Force. And then in terms of multidimensionality, that kind of thing, the framework that I'm familiar with, for example, is something called the holographic principle. It derives itself from general relativity and quantum mechanics. And that is, if you want to imagine a 3D object such as yourself casting a shadow onto a 2D surface, that's the holographic principle. So you can be projected, quasi-projected from higher dimensional space to lower dimensional. It's a scientific trope that you can actually cross, literally, as far as I understand, but there's probably guys with PhDs that we could probably argue about that.
But you have not seen any.
Y'all want to talk about that? How crazy that sound?
Yeah, it sounds crazy, but it ain't.
It's not.
First of all, we've already have theories that talk about us being like this whole thing being a hologram, our whole experience being a hologram. The Bible backs that up as well. You know what I'm saying? The idea that a being could be all around us, but we can't see it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then that there's a higher level. It talks about, the Bible talks about like the higher heavens, right? We have these levels of heavens, not even just one heaven. We have levels of heavens, right? So somebody could be looking down like on this screen, you know what I'm saying? Or on this realm through the waters, right? Like we have the ability to even do that ourselves. We can project ourselves into other quote unquote universes. We do that with AI. We do that with games, right? We do that even with TV, right? So why wouldn't an advanced or smarter supernatural being be able to do the same thing? We don't come up with nothing ourselves. We creating anything. We little mini gods. So whatever we done come up with our vast mind, bro, the Most High done already done it. Angels and demons done already done it. That's where we get these ideas from.
Go ahead, Jalen.
I agree with Collins. Like, I have to just talk about what the book talked about too. Is just saying these beings are way far superior to us. They know more. They can do more. Their consciousness level is just so much higher than us, and their technology and their advancement is crazy. So I mean, of course they can do things like quantum leaping and stuff. Like that's nothing. Apparently they wanted to teach us these things, but like I said, like it was talking about in the book, if they were to teach us these things, then we would have to disarm our entire, like, you know, all of our atomic bombs. They probably wouldn't even do much to them, but that's what they wanted. And so America was like, no, screw that, we're not gonna do that. But apparently they made like a peace treaty. But you know, I 1000% believe that they've got this consciousness and this spirituality that's way above us. 1000%.
Mm-hmm. What you got, Tim?
Yeah, I can't disagree with that theory. I've heard it a couple of times, and it really makes sense to me. Even the line that Collins had, that, you know, we don't think of nothing. So like, you know, my favorite dude, I think I told you about it. I told you about him, Jay, the guy. I think you said you played basketball with him, Billy Carson.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
Billy had a thing, man. He got his theory. He's like, yo, man, we don't think of nothing. We just download everything. So
Yeah.
everything that you
Yeah.
can think about being done, it's already been done. You just in tune to whatever frequency that information is on. So we basically like walking radios out here, and you can't get to 97.5 if you dialed in on 102.3. So whatever information that's on that particular frequency wave, that wave pattern, that communication channel, once you get yourself into a higher vibrated state, you can download that particular information. Us as human beings right now, we're not there. Some of us are. I believe there are some guys who could do, or some people who could do some amazing things just from meditating, and they
Mm-hmm.
get profound information that we like, man, where you come up with that at? Or how you do that? Dang, he really just healed this dude from just thinking about it. And so when you in tune with that particular energy, man, you got that kind of communication where you can sit still and just download information, so to speak. Then yeah, I mean, I don't see that as a problem. I mean, I don't see that as being far fetched, especially if you're talking about, if we sitting up on the 3D and they saying like maybe answer something, look at things in the 2D. So I mean, what's the fourth, fifth dimension look like? We can't
Boom.
perceive that in our minds because we tied to a 3D.
You
This
hit
man's
nail right
spitting, boy.
Yeah, he hit the nail right on the head, because there was a guy on YouTube breaking down, you know, the super string theory talks about 11 dimensions folded upon themselves, and
Sheesh.
they were simply saying that each dimension up can perceive everything down, but each dimension down can't perceive everything up unless you change your frequency to perceive the other dimensions. If that makes sense. So that's what he's talking about, the holographic thing. That thing is like, that's crazy. To answer Jessica's question, I personally have never seen an alien. I'm with Tim. When we used to live in Arizona, there are some things that you see in the sky at night that you know it's not a spacecraft. I mean, me and my dad used to talk about it because we were stationed out in Fort Huachuca, Arizona. He used to say he see things out in the field. I would see some things that I couldn't explain, but I'm not going to say it was I guess it was an unidentified flying object, but I'm not going to say it was like an alien spacecraft. It's just like some weird stuff that you see that doesn't look like a plane. Anybody else?
Yeah, my mom and dad both seen something. So y'all know where 46 is, that country road going towards like Orlando and Sanford.
Yeah.
So my dad said he was driving on 40. This was like probably 20, 30 years ago, but he was driving down 46 and he said he's seen this craft. He said he'd never seen nothing like it before, but it was just hovering over one of the fields, like, you know, where there's no street lights, none of that stuff over there. And he said he ain't never seen something. He had to like pull over and like rolled his windows down and everything. And he said it made like a sound, like a humming, like a really low, like he never heard any sound like that before. And that was right there on 46. And that was like a long time ago. And my mom said she's seen a creature. She don't know what it was, but she was young. She said she's seen some flashing lights and she looked out the window and there was like something there. And it looked like something she never seen before. So, you know, some people have seen some things. I've never seen nothing on my end, but
I personally have multiple times actually. I've seen as far as crafts. I've actually seen outside my house on, it was a blue moon. That's the only reason why I saw that bit, because I'm always inside. But it was a blue moon. It's my first blue moon that I like knew of. Oh, it's a blue moon. So I'm thinking, oh, it's something cool. It's going around the internet, right? Like, oh, let me go see the blue moon. Like, I'm thinking that bit gonna be blue or something like that. I ain't even do the research and realize it's just 2 full moons in a month. But so I go out there and I'm looking. I'm like, what? I'm like, this is trash. Like, this is doo doo. Like, what? This is a regular old full moon. Like, what we supposed to see? I was Googling and whatever, looking over. And then I look back up and I see this silent. I mean, it was silent, and it wasn't but about a mile away. Like, it wasn't even that far away. And it was translucent, bro. It was like, at first I thought it was a dude in a parachute, because it had this kind of like jellyfish dome, kind of translucent, like jelly, like the bell of a jellyfish, like the top part of it, and it was floating down. So I actually thought it was like one of them old school parachutes, because they used to be like the Rangers used to jump out on them, the circular ones, not the cool ones that they got the angles or whatever. So I'm looking at this bit and I'm like, yo, what is that? And it's the way it's moving like a jellyfish, because it's like floating like this. But I'm like, wait a minute, a dude on a parachute can't go up. Like, it's going down and it's going up and it's completely silent. Now, mind you, that same distance and stuff like that are further than that. We can hear the planes. The helicopters are around the same area, and we could always hear those, the ghetto bird flying around or whatever. So I'm looking and I see it, and I'm like, I call my girl, I said, babe, come look at this. Tell me what the heck that is. And she looking at it, she like, yo, I don't know what that is. And so she's like, yo, get the camera. So we get the camera. Of course, it's like an iPhone 4. It didn't capture nothing, because it's all translucent or whatever. I see one, and then after that, I see a second one, and then we see a third one. She called her mama, and her dad. I'm calling. Who did I call? I can't remember who I called. But they didn't pick up. And I'm like, yo, I'm seeing freaking aliens, bro. Like, it's a whole thing here, bro. Like, we saw 7 back to back over the course of 15 minutes. And they were just, and after about 15 minutes after, they went up they came from the southeast, and they came across, and they went up down to the northeast, up towards Pasadena area, right? And then it wasn't about 3 minutes after the last one came, one of them Ospreys that from like Fort Bragg or whatever flew in the same exact direction going towards it. And we knew it was a military helicopter, because it comes over every now and then, but it was one of the big military helicopters, flew in the exact direction following it. So I'm like, yeah, ain't no way that these things ain't real. Like, I seen it with my own eyes. Like, I knew it. And this is like outside of my belief system of like whether they're demons or not. I was like, I just know that thing in the air could not have been a parachute, because it was moving up. Like, you're not moving up vertically in a parachute. It was also completely silent. It was huge. You know what I'm saying? It was like big enough for me to see, and it was floating almost like a jellyfish on a Gulf Stream, and they all followed the same pattern. 15 minutes. And so I was like, yeah, nah, there's really now
This
maybe
man need to fix his connection. They said someone said Jessica said, did they leave any markings on your body after?
No. I mean, they were far enough away that I didn't feel afraid. Like, I didn't feel scared or whatever.
Okay.
Now, when I was in Vegas, though, I was scared. Like, I was legit actually scared. This is before me being fully activated. You know what I'm saying? I was still scared of these things, these unknowns or whatever. We were driving down, coming back from Vegas at like 3:00 in the morning. And if y'all ever been to Vegas, coming from there to California, there's only one road that really goes all the way up. And it was a Wednesday, so there was no cars on the road. And we're driving down this road. It's one road, nothing but desert on both sides. And all of a sudden, as we passing, we see this ring of lights, like the gravitron. Like, that's the only thing I could think about, is it looked just like the gravitron. Like, it was like, and that was it, off to the side. And I looked at the homie. The homie looked at me. He's like, yo, did you see that? I was like, hell yeah, I saw that. He was like, hey, mind you, he's a white boy. So he's like, hey man, you think we should turn around and check it out? I was like, nigga, if you bro, If you stop that, I'm beating you, bro. I'm gonna whoop you, bro. We ain't stopping, bro. There was no cars in front, no cars behind. I ain't about to get abducted, homie. Like, you being too curious.
Get that abduction, man. Get that abduction.
Yeah, I ain't trying to do that, bro.
You came back with superpowers. You left out, and you could have been flying after that. All right. Let's get back to it. Tim, did you answer that question?
One more thing.
Yeah, I did.
Okay. I think all have seen aliens. We all have entered, because even the Bible says you may have entertained angels and know not. So we could be talking to these other supernatural beings, and they could be.
See, he muted himself. I don't even have to do it. Mute him.
I'm just saying.
You're like self-muting. You're self-muting. And I think Collins is an alien. Because if y'all done knew him back in college, Collins back in college, okay. Yeah, real talk. I'm muting his ass right now. Let's go.
Documentation that that's what's occurring.
Only a theoretical framework discussion. Yes.
Okay. Okay. Occam's razor is that these aircraft, have they been identified that they are being produced by domestic, military and contractors? Is there any evidence that that's what's being recovered?
Not to my knowledge. Plus, the recoveries predate a lot of our advanced programs that I previously am witting of. So,
would it be safe to say that there could be a scenario today where you have an aircraft that crashes, and because it's been involved in one program from one federal agency, and the agency that retrieves it is not aware of that program, and to them it appears alien in origin?
I mean, that's a hypothetical situation. I'm not aware of any historical situation that would match that you described. So
you're not aware, it has not happened that you're aware of?
That I'm aware of.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I yield back.
Several months ago, my office received a protected disclosure from Eglin Air Force Base indicating that there was a UAP incident that required my attention. I sought a briefing regarding that episode and brought with me Congressman Burchett and Congresswoman Luna. We asked to see any of the evidence that had been taken by flight crew in this endeavor and to observe any radar signature as well as to meet with the flight crew. We were not afforded access to all of the flight crew. And initially, we were not afforded access to images and to radar. Thereafter, we had a bit of a discussion about how authorities flow in the United States of America, and we did see the image. And we did meet with one member of the flight crew who took the image. The image was of something that I am not able to attach to any human capability, either from the United States or from any of our adversaries. And I'm somewhat informed on the matter, having served on the Armed Services Committee for 7 years, having served on the committee that oversees DARPA and advanced technologies for several years. When we spoke with the flight crew, and when he showed us the photo that he'd taken, I asked why the video wasn't engaged, why we didn't have a FLIR system that worked. Here's what he said. They were out on a test mission that day over the Gulf of Mexico. And when you're on a test mission, you're supposed to have clear airspace. Not supposed to be anything that shows up. And they saw a sequence of 4 craft in a clear diamond formation for which there is a radar sequence that I alone have observed in the United States Congress. One of the pilots goes to check out that diamond formation and sees a large floating, what I can only describe as an orb. Again, like I said, not of any human capability that I'm aware of. And when he approached, he said that his radar went down. He said that his FLIR system malfunctioned and that he had to manually take this image from one of the lenses, and it was not automated in collection as you would typically see in a test mission. So I guess I'll start with Commander Fravor. How should we think about the fact that this craft that was approached by our pilot had the capability of disarming a number of the sensor and collection systems on that craft.
Well, I think this goes to that national security side, and you can go back through history of things showing up at certain areas and disabling our capabilities, which is disheartening. And for us, I mean, like I said, it completely disabled the radar on the aircraft when it tried to do it. And the only way we could see it is passively, which is how you got that image. So I think that's a concern on what are these doing, not only how do they operate, but their capabilities inside to do things like this.
And how should we think about four craft moving in a very clear formation, equidistant from one another, in a diamond? In all of the phenomenon, perhaps, Mr. Grave, that you've analyzed, have we ever seen multiple craft in a single formation?
I have one particular case, and that was during the gimbal incident. The recording on the AT FLIR system shows a single object that rotates. You hear the pilots refer to a fleet of objects that is not visible on the FLIR system. And that was something that I witnessed during the debrief as part of the radar data on the situational awareness page. I would like to add, however, Congressman, there's a small bit of anger, I would say. I would feel that those pilots are still facing that difficulty in reporting this topic, and they don't have the tools to be able to mitigate this issue. It just goes to show how serious this is and why this is such an important issue for our pilots and for our nation.
It was stated explicitly to me by these test pilots that if you have a UAP experience, the best thing you can do for your career is forget it and not tell anyone. Because any type of reporting, either above the surface or below the surface, does have a perceived consequence to these people. And that is a culture we must change if we want to get to the truth. Mr. Chairman, I would observe that perhaps as we move forward from this hearing, there are some obvious next steps. Every person watching this knows that we need to meet with Mr. Grush in a secure, compartmentalized facility so that we can get fulsome answers that do not put him in jeopardy and that give us the information we need. Second, I would suggest that the radar images from that were collected of this formation of craft.
I'm gonna stop real quick. I'm gonna ask y'all a question. Do you think that, what would you do if you're a government in the government and you know these things exist? Do you feel obligated, or would you want to tell the American people?
No, I would not want to tell the American people. I get the secrecy. Hey man, if you go back and you think about it, the movie Men in Black, Will Smith told Tommy Lee Jones' character, "Hey man, we got to do something, man. This could be a catastrophe. This could be something." And Tommy Lee Jones' character looked at, there's always a catastrophe. There's always something. There's always this. There's always that. The only way these people get about their happy little merry lives if they do not know about it. And that line just stuck at me on my head. I mean, think about look at COVID. Prime example. Look at COVID. Okay, COVID. What you think we gonna do with some aliens, bro? Okay, yeah, we got a whole line of aliens out there, and they can do a whole lot of damage. There's nothing else the world military can do about it. Man, these folks will have you think toilet paper was gone then, bro? What you think gonna happen now?
Ain't gonna be no toilet paper left.
Not a damn piece of it.
Jalen, what about you? Oh, Ham, do you want to say something?
Yeah, I'm gonna be devil's advocate on this one. I think people should know about it, and I think the reason why they're telling people about it now is something has changed, something has shifted, because it's been secret for so long. I've seen the video that said since 1930s they know about alien activity or something like that. And why are they telling us now? Something they probably can't contain whatever the information they have now.
Oh yeah, that one guy, they came out with it, and I think it was the New York Post or whatever they call that paper. They came out with the thing talking about how Congress has been hiding this information, blah, blah, blah. So it was like a huge thing back in 2016, 2017 that kind of led to this moment. I forgot the buddy name, the director of the UTIIP or something like that, Louis something. He was one of the people that was leading it, because he was saying that he doesn't want to call. And I see, like what Colin said, they're not calling it alien, right? And as one person commented in the comments, is they're seeing these things over large bodies of water, and they're seeing that they come out of the water, they come in the air and go back in the water, so they're submersible and they can travel through air. And so again, a lot of them are saying the reason why they're not saying alien, because they believe them just be interdimensional beings.
They probably Atlanteans, man. They probably Atlanteans down there, you know?
All right, I'm gonna mute you. Go ahead, Jalen.
So one of the things I want to say is I believe that people should know. I get why they want to keep the secrecy, but the crazy thing, so one of the things that they was talked about in the book is that they've been talking about this stuff in the media. So like E.T., they said that was a real story. It was they putting this stuff in the media to make it seem like it's fake, but this stuff is right. Like that was actually, well, apparently from what the guy in the book, Behold a Pale Horse, you're saying like the E.T. and some of these other stories about aliens and stuff like that that they put in Hollywood, a lot of that stuff is real. And they're putting it like, oh, it's just a fairy tale, you know, like they're giving it to the public. So in a way, I feel like it's kind of messed up because they hiding it, but they're actually putting it in plain sight at the same time. That's my opinion.
I think it's a slow rollout, man. They've been planning years. Hundreds of years they've been planning this stuff. Thousands probably, you know. So I think it's a slow rollout. They put it out as entertainment at first, so you can get used to the idea, you know. Then they drip it out like little sightings here, so that they can eventually fake a whole damn invasion. I think they're gonna fake one. You know, I think they're gonna do a fake one so that people don't realize that the real one is that's coming.
I heard that theory.
It's gonna come.
I've heard that theory.
You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
That's what I believe, because there's only one big giant one that everybody gonna know, and that's definitely when the sky opened up. Yahweh Shai, y'all know him as Jesus, come back. There's angels gonna be dropping down, unaliving people left and right. You know what I'm saying? Blood up to the horse's bridle, the whole apocalypse thing. So they want to do a different version to make you think that you're safe, you know, after or before or whatever. That's an Antichrist thing. I mean, it's all connected, bro, because these governments ain't really just governments. These are whole sects of families, you know, religions, peoples that have belief systems. Like, people don't want to believe in the Bible, but your enemies do. Your enemies believe in the Bible. They on the flip side. They're trying to get all the fun they can on earth before they go to the next place because they know they're going to burn. So I think that what they're doing is doing a controlled release to trickle the information out, to make it look like they ain't been lying the whole time. Like, oh, there's been government people that are just really trying to get, man, I think everybody on that panel is in on it. I think they in on it. They're not lying.
Facts. Me too. I agree.
But they're not giving out the full truth. Like, have you been told to do this? Have you been told to let the people know this? You know what I'm saying? It's controlled opposition.
Well, if we're going based off of Jalen's, he said the book, there have been many people from the very beginning talking about they were reverse engineering spacecraft, and a lot of these people turn up missing, die. There was a guy, I believe, and this is kind of off subject a little bit, but there was a guy, I believe it's from Canada, and he created a battery that could power your entire house.
Yeah.
It was like, remember that? It was like this freaking big.
Yep.
His wife said he went out and he never came back. And some people in black showed up, went in her house, took his stuff, and dipped.
Yep.
So there have been people, like, you can't, like, if I saw, you know, it'll be just hard. Like, if you saw an alien spacecraft, not to come home and, like, low-key tell your brother, like, yo, bro, I saw something at work. It was an alien. Don't tell nobody I told you, right? So I see, this is what you got to understand. When people say the government, and this is what we're realizing, and this is what people should have been educated when they went to school about, when you say the government, right? The government, people say, oh, the government, like it's this entity that has one hive mind and everybody's on one accord. No, Jalen, you can work for the government. Hamilton can work for the government. And within that government, they're having Jalen work on a piece of an engine, having Hamilton work on a piece of the wing, and having Collins work on the y'all all working on these different parts to have no idea what you're building.
Yep.
Very good at that.
Yep.
Making you build the elephant and not knowing that you're building a freaking elephant.
Lockheed
Yeah. So, I wouldn't tell y'all, you know what I'm saying? I'm letting y'all know. I personally think average human being is dumb as hell.
Yep.
And they make everything into a joke.
Agreed. Agreed.
They don't know how to take information. The CIA has done a very great job at programming the media and using psychology and now social engineering to make people believe certain things. And once people believe those things, they have emotional attachments and really physical attachments to these things. So you can't tell people anything because they don't realize they've been programmed forever. So no, I wouldn't tell y'all. I'm serious. I wouldn't tell you. And I'll probably be the one that if Jalen was a whistleblower, I'll probably be the one to put a hit on his ass. I'm just letting y'all know that right now. Keep your damn mouth shut.
Javon. Yeah, Jalen must die.
Hey, he gotta go. He's out there. He's talking. So I don't blame him. Let me skip forward. Y'all go ahead, continue. Let me try to skip forward to this one part I wanted to see.
Also, the other thing is, I would say that there's two versions of people. You know what I'm saying? There's the ones that find stuff out and they really do be whistleblowing, and there's the ones that they like. Okay, now a couple people to get out. Let's have a whistleblower. Let's create a whistleblower to counteract the previous whistleblower. Because if he let the whole cat out of the bag, what do people always do? You look at these videos. What do they say? Man, is rent due? I'm just trying to figure out when I ain't got to pay the bills no more. Right? That's what they don't want, because once all this stuff is out, like fully, ain't nobody going to work. This system is shutting down. People are like, you know what? Oh, God's real. Oh, these demons are real. Oh, it's not just all right. Yeah, why are we going to work tomorrow? Nah. So their whole system is done. Like they don't.
The whole collapse.
Chaos. It's gonna be chaos. I'm here for it though. I'm here for it. Like, hey, let the chaos reign. Let these idiots do what they're gonna do. Let them go out. If once they do that, they're not working.
Hold on, let me see if this
to Mr. Fravor as well as Mr. Graves, not having the system for reporting. Would you both agree that is harmful to not just our national security interests, but to understand this phenomenon of what's happening with UAPs?
I think it's actually a travesty that we don't have a system to correlate this and actually investigate. You know, so if you took the East Coast, you know, there's coastal radars out there that monitor our air defense identification zone, so out to 200 miles. They can track these, you know, so when you see them, they could actually go and pull that data and get maneuvering. And instead of just having the airplanes, there's other data sources out there. And I've talked to other government officials on this. So you need a centrally located repository that these reports go to. So if you just stuck it in DOD, you wouldn't get anything out of the Intelligence Committee because they have a tendency not to talk. But if you had a central location where these reports would come in, not just military, but also commercial aviation, because there's a lot of that going on, especially if you talk to anyone that flies from here to Hawaii, over the Pacific, they see odd lights. So I think you need to develop something that allows you a central point to collect the data in order to investigate.
Mr. Graves?
I would concur with everything Mr. Fravor said. I'll continue to say that the commercial pilots that have reached out to me through Americans for Safe Aerospace are doing so because they don't feel there's another way for them to report this safety issue.
And I think one of the clear outcomes of this hearing already is that there has to be a safe and transparent reporting process for pilots, both on the commercial side and the military side, to be able to report UAPs in a way that's also transparent, but also understands the scope of our national security interests and what may be classified or not. But I think there has to be some sort of system, and so that's something that I hope can be an outcome that this committee can work on. Is there anything else for the two of you briefly beyond this reporting system that you think that we can do as a government to encourage and facilitate more civilian reporting?
We're doing it right now.
Okay, great.
I think this hearing is going to show the American people that their government takes this topic seriously.
And how about civilians that may not be pilots? What kind of process could be in place for civilians who are not pilots, who may have UAP encounters? Do either of you have any suggestions that could facilitate that?
My recommendations would be to make that a sensor-centric operation in order to make it as objective as possible.
Okay. Sir, Mr. Fravor?
No, I agree with Mr. Graves on that.
Okay. Just briefly, I also just want to note particularly for the two pilots, and I have a question for Mr. Grush. One of the things that I found fascinating in our discussion, Mr. Graves, last night as well, is that you both described UAPs and formations and the way they are.
All right, let me see Collins going back and forth. I cannot get to that point. The numbers are so weird on this one. Let me see if this is it. But let me get to the question. Let me get to the questions. So do we just allow information, about the universe and other beings to not only be available, to those in power?
Nope. Let everybody know so they can make their own free will decision on the matters. That's what I say. Even though most people gonna make stupid decisions, you ain't stopping people from being stupid by not telling them. So at least you can get them at it.
Why would you? You're muted. You're muted.
See, the thing is though, man, like, okay, it's one thing to not know something. So the outrage, the range of your stupidity is limited because you don't know information. Now, let's say you learn how to go ahead and build an explosive. You already loony. Now you're gonna put a plan together. Now your plan has a bigger outrage, a bigger range, because the information that you learned. So I think it's dangerous to arm not so stable folks with information, because if you have a folks that's somebody who might be a little bit on the mad side, and they get some information of how to do some major damage, they're gonna have the will now, the capability to go do some major damage. Or you got somebody who don't know how to do major damage, but they outrage the damage is still gonna be done, but it's gonna be at a smaller level or smaller size or smaller range of damage. So with that being said, you can limit a lot of BS by limiting information. I don't like it either. I mean, it's some shit that I like to know my darn self. But I mean, if you look at it as a whole, man, like, yeah, if it's one, I guess you have to put it out like, hey, this is this. You may have to go out and look for that information or have some type of clearance to get that information. Like I think Americans should have like opportunity to gain clearance levels, so that they can be privy to information, almost like like traveling and shit like that. So if you got like a known traveler pass, you could kind of skip some bullshit in the lines. You can kind of just go straight through the line because you got a clean background or something.
Information.
That's it. Hey, give them an IQ test. Give me top clearance, baby.
This by.
So what damage? So what damage could be done by giving people knowledge of truth that's out there?
Something just popped into my head. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's a divine thing. If everybody knew that angels and God and demons and devils were real, we'd have a whole bunch of people that would turn to the Most High, but we'd have even more people that would just start doing seances and doing crazy demon worship because they want to ball out, before they die type stuff. So I think Tim, you actually right on that. Like, if everybody knew for sure that all this stuff is real, what about all these weirdos that can actually get supercharged on their demonic platforms? You know what I'm saying? That everybody and their mama will be trying to take deals.
Hey, I just watched the documentary on how to create a cult, and your boy from Heaven's Gate was talking about the mothership was going to rescue them, and they all did like some suicide stuff. So yeah. There'll be some UFO people be like, hey, we're going to the mothership. Drink this Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people, even if the information is out there, I feel like a lot of people still won't believe it.
Of course. Yeah. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
You definitely
have some people like that.
You have people that still have debates about dinosaurs existing.
Yeah.
Like, you have people that literally say that the bones that people find, scientists put them in the ground. And I'm like, for what? Why would they?
And this is why I believe in natural selection.
But check this out. What the government has done, right? Because they're exposing themselves when they say they can't even get clearance when they have clearance, and they don't know what's going on, even though they should be know what's going on, right? They expose themselves that they don't know everything because there's a shadow government. There's something else that somebody's running something, right? Just like your boy says later. I need y'all to watch this though. The guy says in the video, he's like, even if we all, go to Area 51, by the time we show up, because it's gonna be a glacier effect.
He said that.
No, he said it. Nothing's gonna be there. They're gonna move everything. So Area 51 no longer has anything in it because everybody knows about it. So they're like, okay, well, we're just gonna move everything out of here.
Bro, they have
I just think it's dangerous. Like, I don't agree with it to a certain degree of them classifying everything, and then our tax-paying dollars are going to the things that y'all classify and hide, and y'all not telling us the truth about certain things. Or 1 second, like the Roswell thing, they said it was they said in the paper that it was a UFO crash, and then later on said it was an air balloon, a weather balloon crash, right? And then you're threatening people's lives, and you obviously kill people. Like, that's where you're going too far. And then you ruins people's livelihood and their credibility by putting out fake information and calling them crazy. That's when you're going too far. But I definitely don't think everybody should know, because we've been programmed too much. And when people say, this has been going on since the beginning of time, by the way, right? Pharaohs, cardinals, all these religious people have been hiding truth from people anyway. The first Bible was written, well, not the first Bible, but it was written in Latin. It wasn't meant for people to read. Right.
They didn't translate that bit for everybody else to be able to get access.
Yeah, guys, watch this video. I'm trying to find the stuff in here that was great, but it's a live version recording of it, and finding the time stamp is weird. Anybody have anything they want to add to the combo?
Yeah, man. I'll just say, hopefully that this can get people to understand that there is other dimensions.
Bro, you always get cut off, bro. Like, so
every time you start.
Every time you start. Like, hold on. Let me.
I'm the unfiltered, man. I'm bringing my word. They don't get out. They don't want it to get out, bro. I'm bringing it straight.
I think there's a Freedom of Information Act.
But hey, turn to the Most High, man. Most High, read your book. Learn your Bible.
Yes.
All this stuff that told you about this stuff when they was denying it, it's all in there, man. Y'all repent.
But
turn back to the Most High. Read your Bible. That's what
all I gotta say.
Mute Hamilton. Okay, I'm unmuting. Go ahead. I'm playing. Go ahead.
All I gotta say is let the people know. Let them know. Let them know. You know why? Because you talk about they know they're gonna do stuff crazy. Like you said, I don't know who was saying this, but when you're protecting the truth, people have to die. They have to die. That's the only way to protect the truth. If somebody's whistleblowing, they gotta go. So people are dying when they don't know the truth anyway. The masses don't know the truth. You have to kill people to keep the truth. So now when the truth is out, people got to make their own choice of what they're going to do. They're going to do wrong, they're going to do good. You're going to do wrong with the information, you do wrong, you get locked up just like you did locked up for everything else.
I don't, Hammer, and you correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think people really want to know the truth about anything.
Most people don't.
They won't.
Most people don't. I'm a whole
like,
is to have people like deal with the harsh truths and the hard things of their life, and they be running from it.
She said that's a bar, Hammer.
Come on.
Yeah.
I don't know what you said, but that was a bar.
I said it. Bars.
Bars.
Big bars.
You got a point though. I mean, you gotta.
Go ahead, Tim.
I say you got a point though, man. Like think about it, man. Like the real, how I call it, the real whistleblowers, man. All them cats stink somewhere, man. Like they was talking about one dude. I wish I remember this dude's name, right? So like he was talking about us being bases on the moon, right? So he like those are base installations that we did not build. We know they're up there, and I'm willing to testify in Congress that hey, it's some stuff up there on the moon, man. That's probably why we ain't go back. And so a couple days later, he dead. You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
So
mm.
that gets me like so like when I have arguments with some friends of mine, and we talk about, man, the moon landing was fake. I don't know. Maybe we went there and lied about it, but I ain't never seen nobody get killed for saying the moon landing was fake.
Hey, listen. Ooh, we gotta do that next time. Can we talk about the Apollo people that were actually found to still be living their life, the ones that supposedly died from that big explosion?
That's
and
on
they,
the 1987, the 1987.
yeah, and they got
space shuttle.
and we
Yeah.
people, they didn't even
I saw
care.
that.
They
I saw
named
that.
some of them. They still alive. So some of the people they doing a paid vacation. They ain't
Listen,
actually.
I want everybody to know the online cookout. The people on the panel that have their opinions. All right, I'm just a host. I don't agree or disagree with some of the things that these people
Disclaimer.
come up. That's just a
Disclaimer.
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 Please do not
Please, bro.
associate this. Please do not
The
kill me by
The views
association.
the
All right?
views expressed by the panel do not represent
Thank you.
the merit of online cookout. The views
Thank
expressed
you.
by the panel are the views of the panel themselves alone,
Hey,
and no way tied to the online cookout. Online cookout
hey,
is just a platform
hey,
for
text me
these
that.
guys to.
Text me that so I can put that in the description, man.
I heard that line so many times, man. That's bad, ain't it?
God damn.
You got it, man.
Hey, but this is what I was saying. So what this whole thing, right? What they have done to the American people, to the world, actually, is make people not believe anything. Everything is a conspiracy. Everything, right? To the point where we're debating objective truths, right? And it's kind of like, so now we can't believe in it. Well, the government said, okay, now we can't believe anything that's true. We can't even believe pictures anymore, right? We can't believe with AI, we can't even believe voices and faces anymore, right? Right. So them lying for so long is actually created a problem that we have today in the modern day era, debating about the most rudimentary things that shouldn't even be debated. And this is why, and Jayla, we talked about this, I think it was on the crypto talk, is I think everybody should register as independent. I need to go ahead and do that myself. Is because you shouldn't be on either. They're both liars. They're both liars, and you need to kind of figure out and make them earn whatever you decide you want to vote for, because they have us fighting and debating over the most trivial things that do not matter, while in the background they're riding on spaceships and chilling with aliens. I want to chill with aliens
and controlling payments.
But I got to second what you just said, because I that's what I'm saying. Like, they've been lying, they've been deceiving us for so long. So if you really throw the truth out there, it's been in the movies, it's been in the media. Like you said, we got AI stuff that you can make fake videos that look real. Now, who's to say they would even believe it if we actually throw the truth into it? I feel like there'll be like at least half of the people won't believe still, if that with the facts in their face.
That's the point of lying. The point of lying is to deceive. It don't matter what you're being deceived about. If you lie, then no matter what happens, it's like you planted this bad seed in a garden. Somebody gonna eat it. Somebody gonna get poisoned by it. They don't really matter how exactly you get poisoned, because the whole point is to poison you.
Get the poison. Yep.
So you can't trust the words that come out of somebody's mouth. So somebody tell you God's real and demons are real, they'd be like, well, that's a lie, because the Christian church, they've been lying. They be doing all this crazy stuff. Like, yeah, they did that, but now you don't know which one of the lies is the lie.
Exactly.
They have been lying. They have been lying. Every organization in history has told lies.
Just like
All
you
of
cannot.
them. All of them. And everybody buys them hook, line, and sinker. I don't, it's gotten to the point where, like you said, once somebody lies, everything that comes out of their mouth, you think is going to be a lie. I don't even try to decipher if they're telling the truth. I just believe, just to safeguard, you're lying, But this is a good talk. I want everybody to watch this video and give me some timestamps. So maybe we can just rush through another quick one on some timestamps real quick, because it's a long one. And I've kept searching for, like, if they put a regular one out, but it's the live version. As you can see, the little chat, the live chat. And this is, hey, go back and read these chats. This is why people should learn anything. These people are some of the dumbest people on the planet.
Oh, that chat was so wild, bro.
Bro, it's like, bro.
Alien girlfriend. Bro, wow. Like,
bro, after I read it, I was like, this is why they don't tell nobody anything, because of you guys, man. It's like your teacher walking into the room and said, you know what? If everybody did as good as Jamare, we'd have had a pizza party. And you looking around at everybody like, God damn it, look at y'all. See, if y'all had just studied, we could have had a pizza party. But I just find it, I just really find this thing fascinating. I was watching, what's that, Gaia, right? I downloaded a 7-day trial, and I'm gonna let it run because my wife is going to paying for it. It's not on my card, it's on her card.
Goddamn.
Yeah.
Real man,
and so I would,
right there.
yeah, you know how, come on now. And let's celebrate. Just lay by. I cut cable. I finally cut my cable. It was hard.
Oh, good, bro.
It was hard.
Hey, yeah, bro.
Hey.
That was 1999. What you doing, bro?
I was holding on to it, man.
We're in the Stone Age still, man. We're in the Stone Age still.
What's the matter?
You know what I mean? Like,
we got CDs and cassette tapes.
Man. Nah, I just felt like hey, you know how, like, you have default sound in the background where you're doing stuff. Like, every once in a while, I'll change it on ESPN, and I'll be doing stuff on my computer. You know what I'm saying? Or, and then I realized, I'm like, I don't even watch TV, man, like that anymore. Like television, like Netflix and stuff like that. So I was like, okay, it's time to cut it. And Comcast was charging your boy. I forgot, babe. What would you say? You said $230 something, $240.
$240?
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Yeah, Hey,
Xfinity.
I didn't know they charging like that now.
Yeah,
they got charged higher, man. They got charged higher to stay in business.
So now your boy saving like $120 a month. That's like $1,200 something a year.
Yes, sir.
That's a diving trip right there. I got a diving.
You feel me?
I'm about to go to the Cayman Islands with that $1,200.
Let's get it.
Mari, go to My 90s TV, and you could put on the shows from, like, just sports or just random stuff or movies, and it'll be like watching TV back in the day.
Oh, she said 220 something. It was 220 something.
Damn, 220. That's too much.
Yeah. So it just, if I was watching it, then I would have said yeah. And then I was gonna get their Now. They have a thing called Now streaming. I think Comcast has, where you could, whatever it is, but it's like streaming live TV, but it's only 40 channels. And I said, is it any of those channels ESPN? They said no. I said, okay, whatever. No, I don't want it.
Gotcha.
I don't want it. So yeah, your boy saving some bread on that.
Good job.
Yeah, fun times. Congratulations to me. But like I said, I think this is a fascinating thing, because me and my wife was talking about it. Like, I'm wondering what would hit the fan. Like, is it gonna be like one day we watch television and Joe Biden walk out with an alien on his shoulder, like, hey guys, like, this is a new thing. Be inclusive. And the reason why we is pushing this binary trends, because aliens don't have a gender. And like, oh, that makes sense. This is what you guys were doing the whole time. So,
I wouldn't put it past them.
Right? You're like, okay.
I really wouldn't.
You're trying to get used to us talking to people that didn't have a gender. Okay, all right. Or they can, like Colin said, they can transform their genders. Like, one day, it's a chick, one day it's a guy, hey, who knows?
Like Baphomet, half dude, half chick, half goat, half human. Like, bro, what are you?
Yeah. But oh, you know what? Next time I want to actually talk about this, like maybe Tuesday, Wednesday. Did y'all see that movie Blackening?
No.
Oh, I want to see that. How was it?
Y'all got it. Okay, go watch it, and we gonna.
It's a comedy, right?
Yeah, man. Go watch it, because I wasn't even gonna watch it, and I'm gonna embarrass my wife on social media because she was laughing so hard I recorded her ass, and she was going in. She was going all the way in. But it was good. It was actually surprisingly good. Good. So go check that out, guys. I appreciate everybody for being here as usual. Got Jalen Warren. Check out his elevated podcast. Hamilton with Millenergy doing his music thing. Although he don't do any music thing anymore. I don't know what he just be trading all day and say he working on a wedding video that's taking him. He's gonna get it done.
I was working on tonight too.
We got my guy Tim. Tim, where you at? You traveling? You on the road?
Oh yeah, man. I'm on the road right now, my boy. I'm on the road right now. Heading up
That's
to
why I appreciate Tim.
Hey, Tim.
heading up to Michigan. What's up?
Always on the road.
So what now?
Why you always on the road?
Hey, this how I make a couple of dollars. I gotta make a couple of dollars somehow.
Hey,
somehow.
trivia, bro. Every podcast we should do a movie club trivia.
I already know that movie.
Who knows
I
what
already know
it is?
that.
Who knows what it is?
I already know that
I know
movie.
what it is.
Nah,
Temptation.
a prize for the people in the comments. So they get a pinned comment or whatever. They what are the people in the comment in the movie club? And if they can't get it, if like 30 seconds, then somebody on the panel gets to say what it is.
All right, I'm gonna cash out the win. I'm gonna cash out the winner 25 cents. Boy, y'all gonna get 25 cents.
25. Wow. Water right now. Want to know why I'm always on the road?
Why you always on the road?
Hey,
And then we got.
Ryder got it.
And then we got Collins, relationship guru. I even put in the description slightly because I'm gonna have y'all email me because Jalen, I try to like copy paste it for the thing. Just email me. I'm gonna send y'all my emails. Y'all can email it to me so I can put the descriptions up right away. And then we got Collins, relationship guru, and I put Collins for you. I was gonna put biblical studies, but I put spiritual studies. What do you think? Spiritual studies. Okay.
Yeah, that's good.
And I'm gonna put all the information right there right now, but in a few minutes, let's give them time to send that over to me, and I'll put the information down below. Guys, appreciate y'all for checking us out live once again. Talk to you soon.
Shalom, shalom.
Hey.